What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Leo. Come to you guys with yet another video. Come to you guys today with a reaction video: 10 WWE heel turns that were justified. I know I haven't really uploaded this past weekend. I've been dealing with a lot of stuff personally, family reasons, so I haven't been able to upload. But I'm still trying to bring as much content as I can for you guys, so be patient with me. But like I said, today's video is 10 WWE heel turns that were justified. There have been a lot of times in the WWE, even recently or over in the past couple years, where a heel turn made sense, and I think we've seen more of that in the Triple H um, regime, right? Where we don't see heel turns just for the sake of a heel turn, just for the sake of a pop, just for the sake of the ratings. It makes sense for storyline reasons, and I always say this that the villains that we have that have turned heel are, if you realistically pay attention, the heels are really the heroes in these scenarios, even though they're painted as the villains. So we look at people like Drew McIntyre, you look at people like Liv Morgan, Kevin Owens, just to name a few, have all turned heel, but at the same time we could all resonate with them and why they did what they did and everything like that. So we're gonna get into this video. Shout out to WrestleMania for the video, but let's get into it. Mm-hmm. 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 And yeah, I mean, people they that's the whole thing. They wanted Becky to be heel, but the people did not want to boo Becky. If anything, they wanted to cheer Becky. And then no, it's the same thing we've been saying with Charlotte. Like we have one plan with Becky at SummerSlam, right? It was supposed to be Becky versus Carmella, and then they insert Charlotte. We seen it at WrestleMania 35 in the lead up to that match between Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey, which me personally, it should have just stayed a one-on-one match. But there you go, insert Charlotte. She wins the title from Asuka, which shouldn't have happened, to be might add, but they still added her. And then, like, I don't understand that. Like, I get what they're trying to do. They were trying to get Becky over as a heel, but it wasn't gonna work. They did not want to boo her. If anything, they wanted to cheer her, and when they tried to turn her, it just really catapulted her into a different stratosphere. And then when she had that Survivor Series interaction with Nia Jackson, she punched her in the face. It literally just sent her into superstardom even more, to the point there was no denying that she was probably one of the biggest things in wrestling, period, point blank. So, I mean, it's crazy how the things end up happening and everything played out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did not like him. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were plotting on that for they've been plotting. Can I go the rest of my life not having to see that again? Thank you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this heel run I enjoyed. This heel run right here is, in my personal opinion, one of the most underrated heel runs of all time. Jericho reinvented himself in the eyes of fans and show that he has what it takes to be a top star and could be in the main event title scene. And his world championship reign during this time was really good. The character work, the promos that he was cutting, top tier in my personal opinion. And I wish they would have catapulted him even higher, potentially being WWE champion at some point. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy that this still kind of rings true, where it's like he's still on that quest of trying to main event a WrestleMania or just a show in general. And I don't think it's really came to fruition just yet. I mean, he main evented Survivor Series and stuff like that, but he wasn't at WrestleMania last year. He wasn't at a lot of shows last year. He was at SummerSlam, that did not main event. Um, I don't, and then Bash in Berlin, that didn't main event either. And then Bad Blood, I felt like that match should have realistically main evented, but it didn't. And when he was champion, he had everything that you needed. He had a lot of the great best storylines, but they just never main evented for whatever reason. I don't know if it was just the people backstage not believing in him in the sense of being able to be that type of guy that can deliver that type of caliber match, but he's proven that he can. And even now, I hope that at some point we do get to sit here and say that he is in a main event. Maybe it is this year if we are going to be doing CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 41. If that's the case, then I'm fine with that. But I think there should. I've always said it that there needs to be stakes to that feud to make it just even more interesting. So there is some type of consequence of why the match is happening besides it being just your grudge, bad blood, these guys have issues type of feud. So hopefully they do add something to make it a little bit more over the edge in my personal opinion, but we will see. Mm-hmm. They've always had good feuds, and I feel like we're about to get another one. We're about to get another feud between these two. Best believe that. We are. And I'm all for it. Oh, boy. Now this was good. This heel turn saved her career. It saved her career because yes, she was part of the Four Horsewomen and everything like that. But if you want to be honest, around this time, she wasn't seen on that level like the other three. Like we knew Charlotte was at the top of the totem pole. Like, and this was 2018, 2019, 2017, and stuff like that. So Charlotte was always on top of the totem pole. Then you had like Mercedes or Sasha Banks at the time. She was up there as well. And then you had, Becky, where she was starting to ascend up the ladder and stuff like that. She was starting to become more and more over to the point where she became the man and everything like that. But it seemed like for Bayley, she was always a step behind in a sense of like the fans just wasn't resonating with this hugger gimmick, right? And it goes to show that just because something is really over in NXT doesn't mean it's going to be over when you head to the main roster, because a lot of the fans that are on the main roster may not watch NXT, so they may not know who you are, they might not know about your gimmick and everything like that. So sometimes changing things up isn't a bad thing, especially if you notice the fans aren't really resonating with you, and then the feuds that they were having are in that god awful segment that they had, This Is Your Life Bayley with Alexa. That was the worst thing they could have done. That was the worst. And then they had that feud over the Raw Women's Championship after she won it. She lost it, I think, in the next pay per view or something like that to Alexa Bliss. And then she got a rematch for that Great Balls of Fire, but she was scared to use a candlestick. I don't care how much of a babyface you are. If you're in a stipulation match where you had to use weapons, don't be afraid to use weapons. That's all I'm about to say. That's all I'm going to say. But this heel turn saved her career. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, when she joined Edge, it created for some interesting television. I'll put it like that. Why is she looking like that? Mm-hmm. Probably one of the best heel turns that we've seen, probably under the Triple H regime. I would say, like everything that Kevin Owens said, he is right. I mean, he's been going against the bloodline since they've started. Since they started back in 2020, he's been the guy that's been a thorn in their side, trying to get them out of power. And then you have Cody Rhodes who comes along. He helps Cody Rhodes fend them off and everything like that. Or anybody who's been trying to go up against the bloodline, he's been there. And then Cody comes in. He gets the championship, but he automatically sides. He kind of just sides with the bloodline for whatever reason. And it makes Kevin Owens just feel like, why am I fighting for you? Why am I trying to help you when you have been done nothing? You literally just sat up there and just fought the guy that's been trying to take me out for years now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yes. This made sense to be number one. This had to be number one. And it makes sense. He wasn't, around to the idea of Jey Uso being on the same brand with him. And it just goes back to everything that happened in the bloodline, similar to Kevin Owens. He's been trying to fight the bloodline. He's been trying to take them down. Back in 2022, when he was one of the biggest baby faces in the WWE period, point blank. And then the fact that you had him at Clash of the Castle in his hometown, trying to win that championship, literally about to do it, only for another bloodline member to introduce himself. That means Solo Sikoa at the time, taking out Drew McIntyre, kind of, and allowing Roman Reigns to pin him for the 1, 2, 3, and it left a fire with inside of Drew McIntyre that's been almost like rage. He has rage for the bloodline because he does not like the bloodline. And he has every right to feel the way. They took his moment in front of all his family and friends, and that makes him feel some type of way. And he has a reason or a gripe to want to, you know, take them down. If you want to think about it, the bloodline is kind of like the ghost of the past that he's trying to overcome, if you want to be honest. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the people that was on this list made a lot of sense. I think, a lot of, and like I said, going back to what I said at the beginning of the video, this generation's villains, or especially in the Triple H regime, the villains that we may have are ultimately the heroes in a sense, because they're justified in the reasons why they have turned heel, why they are doing what they're doing, and they're justified in their actions as well. So y'all comment down below, let me know what are some more heel turns that you guys feel like were justified and everything like that in the comment section down below. What more videos would you guys like to see me react to in the comment section down below as well? Road to 2,000 subscribers. Ultimate goal is 10,000 by the end of 2025. Let's make it happen as a wrestling community, as a wrestling family. But with that being said, hope everybody has a great day, great rest of your week, and I'll see you guys in the next video.